This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to the Fast Break Podcast right here on MVP Sports. I'm joined, I can't say as I always am, because usually I'm not the one doing this, but flash in the past here, I'm joined with my co-host, Dave Oster, the birthday boy, or birthday boy last night. Happy birthday, G.
Thank you. Now that you're older.
35 now. Getting close to 60.
Didn't think I'd make it this long. Still surprised.
Hey, every day is a gift. That's what they say, right?
Fair. No.
You also may notice that someone's not here.
Yep.
All I'm going to say is that Jake, dealing with some family issues, will not be here tonight. Taking a absence from the podcast. He will be back, though. This is not a chainsaw. I love you. This is not a chainsaw situation where Chainsaw was on only the Bulls, and then after a while, he just never showed up again. It's not a chainsaw situation. It's not a Sean Anderson situation of Jake has not left. Jake is just off dealing with family issues. He will be back when all that is done. Just wanted to let you guys know why Jake is not here. But Dave, we still got a jam-packed show. We're talking Jokic and the Nuggets. We're talking the Thunder. And then guess what? Jake's not here. So guess what we get to talk about?
The bullshit.
We get to talk about bullshit and not have to deal with any outside interference when it comes to that discussion. Before we get into everything, though, check out the Discord, greatest community in the entire world. Down below, you can check out our Patreon page. If you want to support us, all of our socials, you can go ahead, leave a comment. We love when you guys leave comments. And also, if you love the podcast, hit that subscribe button and that like button as well. But Dave, first thing let's get into is these Denver Nuggets, because there was a little bit of overreaction, I want to say, after about 5 games into the year. This team had lost their first 2 games. I want to say good teams. The Clippers, I'm still like on the fence if they're a good team or a great team or not. But they lose the Thunder and the Clippers. They lose the Timberwolves then on November 1st. And people are like, wow, this team is 2-3. Have they lost a step? What's going on? Ever since then, November 2nd, win over Utah, win over Toronto, win over the Thunder, which lost me money. Thunder were the only leg of that 3-legger that didn't hit. Because I had Pacers, Cavs, Thunder that night. Yep. Then on Friday, they go ahead and beat Miami. And then this past Sunday, yesterday on your birthday, they beat the Dallas Mavericks by 2. Almost a similar score as that Thunder game. The man leading the charge, though, Nikola Jokic. Of course it's got to be Nikola Jokic. He's their star player. Dave, are the Nuggets back? Is this team back to the team that everyone thought they would be?
I mean, we are seeing a carry job that has not been done before. This is monumental levels of carry. Jokic is doing, like, he's flat out having the best start of a season of any player ever. Period. Like, full stop. Just the greatest start of an NBA season we've ever seen. And this is from a team that did not really do him too many favors in the offseason. They're like, hey, we're going to pay Jamal Murray, who's coming off of one of his worst seasons. We're going to pay Aaron Gordon, extend him out. We're going to let KCP walk. You didn't like KCP anyway, right? He was only a contributor for our championship, the Lakers championship. Pedigree, being a 3-and-D player, knocking down open shots on the outside. You know, who needs depth anyway? We drafted a bunch of kids who our coach hates to play. No big deal. Somehow, some way, Nikola Jokic is just like, all right, I'll just have to win on my own then. And then he went and kind of does. Not to say that he's not getting contributions from the rest of this team, because we are seeing the emergence of Christian Braun as a really, really what I think a lot of people were looking at as the weak point of starting lineup to, like, he's the most consistent guy they've got now outside of Nikola Jokic. And it's almost like people are questioning, like, is this just the Nikola Jokic effect of, like, oh, you play with him, your stats look great? It's a little fool's gold maybe, but who cares if you're winning games? That's what I'm saying. Like, he's on a rookie deal. You don't got to worry about that too much. But You've had pop-off game from Aaron Gordon. You've had a pop-off game from, I think Peyton Watson didn't miss a shot last night. You just have been getting like a performance from somebody else, and then Jokic doing the hard carry for the day. And that is, I want to say unsustainable, because we've seen guys do this before, like Embiid. But the problem is that Embiid or Giannis, at some point the body starts to break down a little bit. You start to see the wear and tear. Jokic is just Jokic, though, man. He's built different. He's been healthy. He's a 3-time MVP. Should have been 4-time. You know,
I hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at the stats first before so the year that the Nuggets won their title, the 2022-2023 season.
Yeah.
That was coincidentally the year that Jokic played the least games in the regular season. Jokic has played at least 70. His lowest before that was 72 out of that season. He played 69. Nice. Games in 2022, 2023 to where the thing I question, and it's not the injury side that we see, because like you see it with Kawhi, you see it with Joel Embiid, where it's like the body can't, like with Kawhi, it's like the body literally can't take an 82 game season. Joel Embiid, it's like, I'm going to do whatever I need to put the team on my back. Maxey gives a little bit of help, but still the body can't handle, does get injured, but not the injury wise of just in the playoffs. It's like, dude, I'm tired. This body is tired to where I wonder, Dave, is the same thing going to happen to Jokic at the end of the year if he has to carry this team and play 72, 73, even like 80 games this year just to be able to make the playoffs and make it at a high seed? Are we going to get to the playoffs? They'll play a team like the T-Wolves again and get bounced.
And let's just clarify here. He's putting in Thibodeau level minutes. He's not getting by on 32 minutes a night. 38, 40, 39, 38 is the last four. He got to take a break because Utah is Utah. Only had to play 29 minutes in a blowout game.
He's averaging 38.1 minutes a game.
Yeah, I mean, 39, 40, 43 against that Toronto. Like, it's just, yeah, he's logging a lot of minutes real early in the season. So I think that this is.
And if you're Michael Malone, you gotta think about that, right? You can't keep this up the whole year.
I don't think he has an option.
True.
I literally think that they are just going to ride it till the wheels fall off. That is the game plan. You hope that Murray continues to look more and more like himself. But outside of that, like, you really don't have any other options. I'm not. Look, I like the idea of Dario Saric, but he's not that guy. So like when
you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Zeke Naji, same thing. It's like, I like the idea of you, but if we can get away with not playing you, I'd be okay with that too. Like, those guys are great minute guys against the Utah Jazzes of the world. I'm a little concerned. Like, we're seeing Michael Porter Jr. at center minutes. We're seeing some Aaron Gordon, but like, literally, they just got to find a way to squeak him just healthy enough into the postseason. That's the goal. Because this West is crazy deep. And even though we have kind of seen the Pelicans implode already, unexpected, maybe expected by some. Yeah. But the West is still incredibly competitive. So I think that, like, you can't really take your foot off the gas and give Jokic a night off. So you just got to play it and hope. He's been consistently healthy. We hope he'll stay consistently healthy, because this team lives and dies with him. So you just got to run it all the minutes. The minutes.
Is Jamal Murray gonna get back to, because like I was just looking, it's like, it's not just because you could say like, oh well, 18 points a game is low. Well, the regular season that they won the title, he was only averaging 20. But the thing that, yet again, you kind of look at with when we were picking Wet Boys, which we'll do Wet Boys later on, I was going to pick a player, and you were like, how could you pick that guy? Look at his shooting splits. Look at the percentages. And when you look at Murray this year, his percentages are not just lower than last year, they are way lower than the championship year. Like his 3-point percentage is 33%. You need at least 40 at the minimum out of Jamal Murray from 3. That's kind of the whole the blue arrow. Like that's what his thing was. Shoot the 3, make it, sling the arrow.
At least league average, which is somewhere around 36, 37%, especially for a
33.
It again, we are small sample size, and we're
7 games he's played.
Yeah, okay, so 7 out of 10. So yeah, it's just we need to see more and more consistently out of him. I think he's on the upcline, Ricky.
The upcline.
He is working his way on the upclimb, and I do think that as far as like point guard play, he's been better, and I will continue to stress as long as he keeps getting better, they'll be fine. Because I don't know, coming off of one of the worst shooting years Aaron Gordon had, like he had one great game this year so far. So again, I'm just like, I don't know that you can count on him. MPJ, same thing. I think that everybody's been trying to trade him basically since the start of the season, being like, this is the guy we can move to go get more help because he's the only guy on a big contract, and like positionally you can get other guys who can kind of like fill in the gaps, to say they're not going to be exactly like him, but you can get Moneyball version of MPJ out there. You can get threes from somebody, you can get rebounds from somebody, you can get the spot up shooting elsewhere. So I think for this team, really, he's been kind of the guy that people wanted to just like kick out of town. So not picking anybody out, but like Jokic is doing his job and then some. Murray's on the incline. He's looking good. Now we need the next guys up to step up, because Christian Brown's doing things that he shouldn't be doing basically already. So I'm like, great there. Strother, talk about a hot player right now. Like he is in his bag. He's very comfortable playing. I don't know if you saw last night the highlights for Jokic's passes.
Yes.
He had one where he just palmed it to a Strother and was just like, nobody else is doing that. But Strother is athletic enough and like so gifted offensively. He just makes things happen. So yeah, I just think that they're probably gonna be stretched too thin, and this could be a catastrophe waiting to happen. But they could have it in them to make a move. And
I was just going to ask that. Is this a team that just, like you said, ride it till the wheels fall off? Or is this a team that's like, hey, you know what? Let's make a move. To me, I'm thinking if you're making a move, make a move for a player like that KCP that you do not have anymore. They don't need to make a big splash. They just need to add the right role player, or maybe 2.
Yeah, I think backup center, as unsexy as that is.
So you can give Jokic a break.
Yeah. Backup center and a wing would be the ideal setup. So, I mean, there aren't a lot of those guys in the NBA. As far as value goes, I hate to say it, we are the Bulls, and the Bulls are, a team who likes to trade pieces away. We've got a wing and we've got a backup center. I know Jalen Smith has only been here for a hot minute, but he does the things that people would want out of a backup center. I've been really happy with him, at least. But like someone, probably because you're gonna have to combine contracts and all that garbage, because they are in the cap space where they're in the
luxury tax.
Yeah. So you got to make the right deals happen. But yes, they could probably use a like MPJ for pieces. And I hate to say that, because like
So you're saying they would be moving on from MPJ?
Yeah, I went into the season really hoping MPJ would be like a massive step forward. I think that I wanted it to happen maybe more than it was likely, but yeah, that's where I'm at on that. I think if there's a piece going, it's probably him, because he's the most like you can aggregate his stats across the board to other spots. I don't think Dario carries much value. I don't think Zignaji plus a second rounder is going to get you much value. So, but they just need bodies they can play, and unfortunately, Hunter Tyson, Jalen Pickett haven't been good enough. They're shots in the dark picks. That's what they are sometimes.
Do you just want to hear the absolute horrid trade I just came up with? It can't happen until December 15th.
Of course. Yeah.
You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
Nuggets and the Bulls?
Yep.
We'll give them Vusi and Paul for MPJ and Russ.
You know what's weird?
You don't hate him?
No, we haven't mentioned Russ, and actual shout out to Russ. He's been amazing since he hit their starting lineup. He has been a difference maker for that team. Vusi and Paul for Russ. I don't know who's winning, or I think we're
there might be some draft capital there too. No,
I think we're both losing there somehow. I don't know what to tell you. We're both losing. They do not want Vusi as a full time. No,
he was a backup center.
You can't pay a backup center $20 million when you have Jokic. I'm sorry. That's just
it's only for 2 years.
Bro, that is levels of like mismanagement that should instantly get you fired. Like for even suggesting that. No,
I'm just looking to move on from Vusi, man.
I know what you're trying to do. I know.
Let me guess. The backup center that you were talking about from us is what? Jalen, yeah. That's Jalen Smith.
Yeah. I said him already, but yeah. I really like him. But I think he does a good job at what he does. So why not? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what this team does. I like that we both just had that.
We're in sync today.
Yeah.
So here's the question I have, and we'll put the nice bow on it here. If the Nuggets continue the way they're going and don't make a move,
yep, they
will make the playoffs, but how far will they go in the playoffs?
I genuinely think this could be like a second round team. Like that's I don't have any doubts in Jokic. It's just, can his body continue to hold up? And the nice thing is we have like years of proof that physically he is one of the most like I don't want to say injury resistant, but like he has had a very good luck run with not being like horribly broken on injuries year over year. So to his credit, to everybody mocking, his body shape and whatever else you want to put into there, his play style works. He's one of the strongest players in the NBA. Does not sprint up and down the court. Not the most athletic by any means you could measure. But the man plays games. He logs minutes. And when he's on the court, the Nuggets are the best team in the NBA. Like, it's that easy. It would be an incredible run if they could pull this off. I just feel like the bottom's going to fall out at some point. Like, you're going to have like a tweaked ankle from Jokic or something like that. And, total accident, just completely unrelated to anything in play. And it'll just be like, oh, that could be the whole Nuggets season. So now we got to hit the emergency button and see what they do. Like, that's when we're going to see what this front office has. Like, what options can they pull? What levers can they switch over to, So it'd be a good test. But I think right now, if you're watching these Nuggets game, you're just going like, that's some of the best basketball we've ever seen. And that's a 50-win team somehow. And by the time they hit the playoffs, they might not have anything left in them, but Jokic is still just Jokic. He's on his way to a 4th MVP.
Thank you, by the way. I was right about that. The narrative, mine was all narratives, but again, I had the feeling.
The bar he has to clear to get the 4th MVP versus everybody else in the league is way higher than it should be, but if he's doing this, what do you want? Yeah. What more it's the like, what more do you want from a man argument? If he could drag this team to 50 wins, no, that is plenty.
I just so right now it's a couple of variables.
Yeah.
We're early in the season still.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Number 2 is, you mentioned this already, the West is tight. And I know we're only 10 games in, but it's like right now I didn't expect the Warriors to be playing as well as they are. Even Steph leaves for a couple games and they still play lights out.
Yep.
And it's
they've gotten great defense, great shooting. Everybody's contributing. Draymond didn't give up on the team.
I just I want to say I can completely agree with you, because the first thing I thought of was same result as last year.
Yeah.
You win the first round, you get bounced in the second round. And that could be the same here. Like, let's say for the sake of argument, they end up with the 4 seed, where they're at right now.
Maybe.
Like, right now they would play the Grizzlies, which I think they could beat the Grizzlies in a playoff series.
The Grizzlies are another team who have just been bouncing guys in and out of that rotation.
Well, I'll say this too. If it's a Grizzly matchup, how does Zach Edey develop? Because if Zach Edey's developed...
You could throw Edey at him, you throw Santi Aldama at him, you can throw Jaren Jackson Jr. at him, you throw Jay Huff at him. Like, Jokic will have no rest. They're going to do the same thing that the Timberwolves did to them last year. They're going to have issues trying to go up against. That's why I'm like, this is a team that in the playoffs, they have to avoid certain teams if they want to make a deep run.
And then it's like, what? Okay, cool. You get past the Grizzlies, you're most likely going to be playing the Suns or the Thunder in the second round, because unless the Warriors are like the first or second seed, which could happen, but like right now it looks like you're either going to play the Suns or the Thunder in that next round, because they'd be the number one. One of them is going to be number one.
Talk about the Thunder's hopes in a little bit, but they got some injury bug going through right now, and they got nobody over 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
They got nobody left. I don't think they got anybody over 6'10", 6'9", maybe. It's a tough one. Sorry. We will wait and see, but I think that the expectation I would have is like it's very rock paper scissors in the West. I think that the Suns shooting could help them win, but also they don't really have a great answer for Jokic. We saw Ryan Dunn playing
I was just going to think Kevin Durant takes over every game.
Well,
and Devin Booker in the playoffs, we've seen that before.
Beal, like we know they got names, they got guys who can shoot well.
And is Grayson Allen, by the way, going to give a V trigger to the back of Jokic's neck like he did to Kelly Oubre, or not Kelly Oubre? Who was it? I don't
even know.
I can't think of the guy's name on the Sixers. He was hitting all the threes in that game because Jake and I watched it. I can't. His nickname threw me off too. I'm gonna look it up and.
Okay.
No, not Oubre. Yabusele. That was it. Yabusele. Yeah. What was his nickname that Jake told me? I'm like, that's his. But Yabusele, he gave him the V trigger to the back of the neck. But like, I'm gonna go a little bolder here, Dave. I could see you as being right. It'll probably be right. I could see this team getting knocked out in the first round, though, if things don't change.
T-Wolves.
If things don't change, like yet again, and all it is to go up against the T-Wolves is get a little bit better, get a second seed, and you're playing either that 7th or that 8th seed if you're 1 or 2. So like, as always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.